where that could be kind of over it so that they could sit there, or they could bring a blanket.
There are benches.
You know, maybe they just, it's out in the open and they bring a blanket and put down, I don't know. Something.
I think those are all things that we can come up with the development.
And there is a setup like that in the area where people are, one of the new businesses has put those sails up and they've got them anchored into posts, and they're very effective.
Yeah.
It was just a complaint last year, the bacon in the sun.
I have another question about the community center. Like in February, like I think it was in February, they used to pay $15 a day, and then Eric, I think, made the motion for them to pay the $200 a month. So that's like $4,600 versus $2,400.
I believe they should have been getting it for free, they should have been paying for it, is what we found out.
So I should pay for the lights and things when people are playing pickleball, but I don't pay? What?
Well, this council voted when we did the new rec commissioner or rec director, you're not gonna pay nothing. You get $200 right now when our rec commission uses it, but when this partnership happens and they use that community center, you're not gonna get nothing, so you have to dig into your pocket for that, so.
That's not what it
That's
said.
not
It said they
You
could
can't.
offer free programs.
No, it didn't.
That's what Andrew said, that when this comes together, that rec is no longer gonna have to pay $200 a month, that they're gonna get free use of that community center. Absolutely.
I don't
Yeah,
think
but
it's
now they pay $7.70 a day.
I remember the conversation.
Our commission follows the new ed.
Yeah, and they're gonna decide what programs there's gonna be and how much it's gonna cost. Nobody ever said anybody was gonna get anything.
We received. I saw.
I'll need
They told her it was $600.
Was that in the bylaws?
I think she's just discouraged, and I'll have her reach out.
$200.
Was that in the bylaws? That, well, you know, we had a copy of bylaws that was a draft.
Yeah.
Was it in there? Does anybody recall?
No one's getting anything for free necessarily. I mean, that, you know.
I was
like
under
for
that
instance-
same impression, and I asked that question previously.
Well, if it's a, in theory, if it's a rec function program of the new entity,
Right. Well, there won't be an old entity, so.
right,
But they may charge individuals for the program.
Yeah,
Correct.
I mean, things aren't gonna be free. The whole idea here is to have the rec director be self-funded within 4 years. That's the goal.
But we won't charge the board any rent for the use of the facility.
right,
Correct.
right, because it's part of
Well,
the
see, that's kind of
operation.
that's what she's saying. We're gonna lose that, well, not really. Because you've got, what, $20, whatever they decide. Right now, it's $20 a person, or $25, $20, isn't it?
What are you talking about?
Pickleball, $20 a month.
$20 a month, yeah.
Yeah, so now you got $20 a month from all these people, what's $1,200 a month? You're really gonna be bringing in more money than we are now, charging $200. Am I?
But why wouldn't they still charge that if it's a program? I mean, somebody's gonna be paying to do their thing, if they're gonna, it's like in tennis, right?
Well, it's gonna go to help supporting, to pay for the rec director.
For the entire function of the.
Right. I do
So what-
agree with Eric, I saw that somewhere.
So how will the community center be handled with the rec director? I mean, will anything change there, or like the cost of the community center, or like if the rec director's throwing a program in the community center? It's gonna be the $200, right? I don't think we could answer that, because the bylaws are.
Oh,
written
okay,
and
thought,
voted
okay.
on, and everything is.
Okay.
But the goal is to have the rec director paid for by program funding.
Okay.
Mary Ann, I just want to mention that the,
Feedback, it's but.
I hear that too. I thought it was
I know,
So
but
it's every meeting, it's like a helicopter is going off back here.
It's really annoying. It's awful, yeah.
I never
Coming
noticed.
from up there.
Where's it
It's
coming
really
from?
bad, this speaker.
The speaker.
The speaker?
What were you gonna ask, Andy?
I'm sorry.
Oh, I just wanted to ask, Art, if you're planning on coming, it works out, I think it works out really nice. Like, for instance, the Sesquicentennial Committee, people had to leave, so they spoke during public comment. Rather than hold you hostage until the end of the meeting, I would be more than happy, I think, I think all of us.
Unfortunately, this is a rare Monday for me. Normally, I have my open court at the high school, so that's, today it got, because of construction.
Well, when you're here, if you want
Yeah.
to speak during public comment.
That would be,
more
can
than
I do
acceptable.
that? Yeah, that would be awesome.
That'd be great, okay.
Yeah, thank you.
I did find in the contract under real property where it says the participants agree to make available without charge for use by the commission the real property of the participants. When the use of the real property by the commission will not interfere with or conflict with the usage.
That's what that's how I always understood it. When I started in the community center. That was always.
But that doesn't mean that programs are going to be.
That's
I didn't
always
speak
been
about the
the law.
programs, the
Okay.
use of the community center.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, that's how I've always understood that from the beginning of.
Absolutely. All right, we're going to adjourn.
Thank you, and thank you for throwing me in there. I was like, oh my God.
All right, you're on, Kim.
Guess I can go down there.
That's all right. Declare a recess.
We just postponed it because Mary Ann was still there.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
You want that speaker? I'll do it to Andy.
Do you get blue trash cans?
Honestly, we had two extra people.
You get little trash cans?
He was actually incredibly rude.
We had two extra
Jenny?
people in the house.
It's better.
I have one this way. I thought you were supposed to get two. You gotta trade it in.
Yeah, it
I mean,
was,
one whole thing.
They closed before I even got
it was
there.
closed, but
I
we
was
paid.
there at 5, because I was out of town. Yeah, I mean, I didn't
See, some say you
Well,
can
but I
touch
was
two.
two.
This one down here, and then they left.
But honestly, I never called them. And then I had to try it.
So a friend of mine put it in his basement, that's what he called it.
And I don't
So it's like, stick his basement.
About he was having it in something, and I was hearing, it was ridiculous to the point that somebody from pickleball texted me the next day. They did not have my phone number, and they apologized for what he said. Dave was there.
Because I looked it up, the email from Brenda, and he said, thank you so much for letting me know, that was it.
What he was saying out in public
Was not
thanks
bad.
to Ginny, we can't play pickleball.
The committee,
Or
the
Sunday.
committee.
Yeah, and it's just.
He was very
Or I'll
ignorant.
say something to him, but yeah, and next, we just come say something, or.
Yeah.
He's very ignorant.
I was waiting till after Saturday, but I am a very, I'm gonna come to your face kind of person, and Dave's like, let it go, just let the prom happen, but the next time I see that man in VFW, which is regular, all bets are off.
So he gives you a hard time.
Because I'm done. He is disrespectful to women, and he's disrespectful about all of the
I'll say
volunteering he
something,
did.
but-
And in my mind, he should not have an appointed
Come to
position.
record and say it, and-
Well, it's another night that I gotta come down here.
I am going to kill myself. I'm ready to go jump in front of a car.
I said to Jenny, I said,
We're gonna take a break, and I'm
she
like,
works.
oh my God.
It's not really a break.
I'm not really gonna.
Who you looking for?
I'm missing people.
Oh my God, he's missing people, they all went back.
How are you doing?
We are.
Good.
What's that?
You come.
Sorry, I forgot about being
All right.
at midnight.
Every
We got a long ways to go.
Is Marion busy?
Okay, she came late.
Marion, we had some cookies left over.
Oh, thank you. Oh my gosh, it's so freaking
Yeah,
weird.
there's something good, thank you.
You want another
Yeah,
one?
we
It was adorable.
A new Freedom resident made those. She has a little business. She lives on Navy Court. So,
Oh, well.
so
There's nothing I can check.
Yeah, no, I know. Yeah.
it was 2 different days. And the second day I happened to be there. And Dave like gave me a look.
Well, let
and
me
I-
know though, maybe call me or text me or whatever, but, cause I'll say something now, cause that's not okay.
I mean, I appreciate
I don't like
that.
that, but,
He wasn't quiet about it, so I can't imagine he's gonna deny it if you confront him.
yeah, well, yeah, well, he's.
And like I said,
he's
someone from
that's-
pickleball texted me
Yeah.
apologizing on behalf of pickleball, and I'm like, it's not pickleball.
I don't, well, no,
I'm
there's.
freaking advocating for pickleball. How are you?
And I don't think it should be. Whoever put it in. It's
Probably want to
one-
make sure the well.
Kim, do you think we can revisit the PA system?
We're gonna have, I mean, there's nothing, see, what happens is somebody in here vacuums and they hit the buttons when they go through there.
Usually there's noise, although the last couple meetings
I
it's
wish
been
somebody
louder.
would've said something.
Yeah, I just thought it was because it was old and crappy.
Well, cause I can
Like
try to
everything
turn
else.
it down and test it.
Well, that, I feel like that's
Just put this
under.
in the yard.
Sleep with them in?
You just redid it with some old part from Shrewsbury.
Yeah.
That's cheaper to put in.
Yeah.
Well, first I thought it was.
The
like
police
speed.
use on a regular basis.
This
Might
is
be dull.
Right.
It's
My
like.
$40 Amazon special.
Yeah.
It was like, someone said it was out, it was during COVID, it was right before the, or right as COVID was going on.
The only thing they
Twenty
can
twenty,
do
but you can't tell me that's
is
still not under quarantine, that's
they have, they
ridiculous.
can middle, something up off the cord, and then resurface it and then repaint it. That's the only
They're
way.
gonna, they're gonna use the same material.
No, they would use where the blacktop, they would use
Okay.
recycled
Yeah.
blacktop,
Yeah.
recycled blacktop. And then that's when they would pull up. Now it's gonna raise the board up a little bit, which you have to adjust the gates
Yeah.
and stuff like that. That'd be the only way to fix it, the outdoor. And then they extend the poles up too.
We need more programs, and we can only do so much.
And help.
I mean, I
And help.
could.
Yeah,
I have someone in mind,
So if you have somebody-
and I didn't know if it was a requirement.
Yeah, find a couple people. That's what that's how I see it.
Well, I don't see it as a negative thing, it's like as long as they're.
Like Marge Goodfellow to me was a rec director. She
Yeah.
just, but she called her rec director, she didn't pay for it. I mean, she always had something,
Yeah.
every day.
Well, she was a sergeant in the army, that's what it was called, sergeant.
I know, but
She was a
I'm just saying,
litter
she had, like, she
But I
had a
mean,
bike.
tennis has been highly successful, I know it got disc somewhere around there, but I'm like, tennis has always been.
Wasn't me, I
highly
took all the tennis lessons when I was a kid.
successful. Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying, you
pickleball
don't have the
too, that's
time. Like, I know you're on record, but you don't have the time to look for new things. That's how I foresee this person is coming up with new ideas and finding new things.
Do you live in this borough?
Yeah, I live right here.
Then why aren't you doing that?
Well, honestly, me and Rich aren't gonna get along.
Yeah.
I will volunteer for things, but I mean, if you
Yeah,
need
he's really
volunteers.
not, I mean,
He might not mean it the way it comes across, but his approach
I
sucks.
think he really doesn't mean it that way, but I do know what you're saying, he's not taking it like
Then
it's.
it's out of 2-6.
What
Okay,
happened
good.
here, why did they have an executive session?
We don't know. We don't know. It's a secret.
So.
We don't know.
I will see you, thanks for all your help, Donnie.
This is my pen, I think I'm gonna take it.
Oh, I'm gonna check my mail. Let's see if I can read stuff.
Hey, that water fountain out there sucks. Who do I complain to about that? I got soaked trying to fill my water bottle.
Oh, no.
I got soaked.
Oh.
We still.
If an old person walks, they're probably gonna slip.
They're not gonna come back and adjourn, we still had a whole page.
Yeah. All right, I will see you. Thanks for
Bye.
having me.
Have a nice summer.
All right, you too. much rehearsing.
Don't get in trouble. Yeah. I have no skin in the game. I literally volunteer.
Yeah.
Like, really?
That's why she's asking those questions. How do I get out of it?
Because if I know there's a weekend, I don't know there on Monday morning, change the clock.
I wish you added to your list of things you have to do.
Then we got battery power, but
Doesn't suit him.
then we got another electric on the battery backup or something.
She acts like she has no idea who I am. I used to babysit her kids.
Oh my God.
I'm not kidding you. She has no idea.
You should've-
For like 3
You
years.
should've said,
I babysit her
so
kids.
and so and so and so. They
Yeah.
still suck
Bro,
their
no,
thumb?
I sit
Do
here
they still suck their thumb?
every month because I have.
Did it come up?
Yeah, it's up to 0.30.
Alright, so it's slowly coming.
Yeah, it's slowly coming.
Does he still suck?
That's a battery's down though as well. I haven't hardly used my phone today, I didn't think.
Did you hear what she said about the increase? They decreased it because they weren't making that money.
You know how much it costs for a Wi-Fi check for the studio to play pickleball?
No. Why do I have to pay for them to play pickleball every day?
Their
I guess-
200 a month does not cover electric
It's
and the heat when they.
$7.60 a day.
First of all,
They
their
let the
math
doors
is
hang open.
$100 off, because they had 32 participants at $20, that's not $570.
That's $6.40.
They don't have 32 in there every time they're in there buying.
That's what they had last month.
32. 32
But
paid the $20.
$80 missing.
You mean every day they have 32 people?
No, they just said for the month.
For the month, that was their,
Oh.
like,
But they
Okay.
paid $20 a
Yeah.
month. So if they
Okay.
had 32, that's pretty easy. It's 640. They said they had 570.
I don't have.
Good.
What'd you say?
I would've. Oh, so,
you should.
What's
So-
the wood in the closet?
Yeah, what is that?
it's for the, they have field hockey running up there, they use it so that the balls, I guess, don't hit the walls and stuff, that they roll the
'Cause I-
balls on the floor and stuff.
I thought the new place for tasteful occasions was then supposed to let tables and chairs go in the
Well,
closet.
it will,
Well, well,
but I gotta do plumbing in there. I gotta put in a
Well-
slop sink, a mop sink, and then try and fit all that stuff in there.
here's something here, like I went up there with Jake and I told him about the volleyball stuff, you know, I still haven't gotten the phone number from Brenda.
Yeah.
And I told him, you guys,
Whose
I
phone
said,
number you need?
I need whoever's in charge of volleyball. Cause
I
I wanna
wish you
find,
guys
I wanna
had
find
that.
out, those boxes up there, I don't think they need all those boxes, those boxes been there since the 70s when I played volleyball.
I wish that they would vote to build another room, just like the one you
I
built,
mean, I know their nuts had to be in there, but
in
they had those
between
big
those
boxes.
two doors, the bathroom door and the closet door, for all the tables and chairs. It would look so much nicer.
I mean, we can make something, like maybe on the wall there, that they can put their volleyballs in, you know, but not having those boxes down the floor, it just takes up so much room. And I don't know if they even need a big box for all their volleyballs that they have.
I think it's so funny that she said she wished you had taken it to her. Well, if he didn't take it to her when he was complaining,
I purposefully came here because his ass should be embarrassed.
he said at the VFW, drinking and trash talking everybody.
Well, there was, actually, when we were in the room there was rec stuff that was sitting in there, like right inside the door.
There was what?
Rec stuff, sitting there from the parade and some other stuff. Well, their room was over in the next room. Like, I guess it was convenient to put it in there, well, that's fine, but
it's not where it's supposed to be. So like, okay, if they were in a hurry, I see you put it in there, but then come back the next day and put it away where it's supposed to be.
Right.
So we carried it back and put it back in the rec room, and that room's a mess back there, with all their stuff back there we had, but, still, see, originally, all the tables and chairs used to go in that room,
That's what I thought.
because the fire company had a businessman show they used to do back in the seventies.
Right.
And they used all that floor space, so floor space was money. And you didn't want any tables or chairs, stands, or anything out there. They had everything
Taking up
taped
space.
off, marked out, you know, for the people to use, and then all the empty, carts and everything went into that room, and then that's where the tables and extra chairs were put.
We had to move all those carts. They had to, whoever had it before we had it for the prom, had the tables and chairs like all the way around the front of it.
That's the way they're up there for pickleball, just to get them out of the way. I didn't know where to go with them, I didn't know how many you needed set up.
Yeah.
You ought to be lucky that they have room for that, because I got rid of the 2 red tables that were up there, because they didn't make sense to me at all while they were even there. They were the old cafeteria tables that we ate when we were in elementary school.
Yeah.
And they saved them, and all it was somebody to throw their coat or junk or anything on, and I decided to get rid of them. So then it gave us some room to put the tables and chairs, at least on that side of the room.
We had a slideshow with all the old pictures of the school, and then we had prom pictures, and my prom picture, and Andy's.
Really?
On like a video,
I
like.
didn't have any problem, but I went to.
I had 2, and I only sent in one because they looked pretty much the same.
Yeah, I don't even think I have any pictures. I went, but I didn't have any pictures. Oh.
It's gonna get interesting right here in January. If they can't even stand past 8:30 for,
Yeah, I thought about that too,
like, how they gonna be sitting up there?
yeah.
Truly.
What happened with Jenna?
Well, she needed.
Well,
For that.
they actually got a lot of agenda to go over yet, and it's getting to 10
I
o'clock.
know.
I can't imagine that they're gonna get through everything,
That's what I said, we still got a whole page.
yeah.
Do you get paid overtime?
He doesn't get
For
paid
this?
anything,
Oh,
neither
no,
one
this
of them.
is, well, I'm salary, so I don't get no overtime.
Awesome.
But,
Awesome.
no, we don't get paid for coming to this.
No, they do it out of the kindness of their heart, to fix all.
I do it for Andy.
I got your phone number from volleyball.
My Andy or the other
I
Andy?
do it for both Andys.
This is your contact, Ray Haspner, and that's his phone number for volleyball.
Oh, Ray Hasner's the.
Yeah, do you have his
oh,
phone number?
No, but I know Ray.
Yeah. I asked your Andy, not your husband, your
Oh, my son,
Yeah.
my stepson?
627-6020.
Oh, Jake, did
Okay.
you see Missy's post about Grant's gun?
Yeah, I saw that. That looked pretty neat.
Wasn't that cool?
Yeah, that was pretty neat.
There was 147 squads of 5 people in each squad, so it's like 700 and some people.
Yeah.
And he wins the gun.
Oh, yeah. Was it a raffle or was it by placing something?
No, somebody donated, an anonymous donor.
Yeah.
And then it was like a raffle, so they
Okay.
had 147 squads.
Yeah.
So they picked a number, 1 through 47, it was 31, that's the squad he was
And then
on.
the number.
And then 1 through 5, and he hates starting in 5th position, hates it. And that's what he started in, but that's the number they
Yeah.
called. I said, I never want to hear you complain about starting in 5th
Yeah,
position.
that was a nice looking gun.
It is really nice. It's about, I think Andy said, we looked it up, I think he said it's about $2,600.
Yeah.
So
those guns
They
aren't.
don't just play like recreational volleyball up there? They're not doing power volleyball or
No, I think it's just recreational, but like,
sort of like?
are they their own thing? They're not part of rec then, right?
No,
They just
they're-
collect their money and give
Right.
it to the borough, okay.
I mean, there used
I
to
went
be-
like twice, but Amanda asked me about it.
I mean,
like the
years ago,
elections.
it used to be
So-
power volleyball was one night, and then you had family, it was family and rec. So you had 2 different leagues, because the family, you weren't allowed to play the ball.
Well, the time
But you
that I
couldn't-
went, it was very competitive. Those old people really get into it.
I actually started playing with, well, one was Fred Bear.
Oh.
That's who I started playing with at first, with his family and stuff playing.
And
We used to play at the
and
park,
my
so
wife's
there were always
ex-husband
games in there.
played on that team.
Sharon Sharp isn't coming tomorrow because she had COVID and her husband had COVID. And I don't think she knows that tomorrow's my last. I think I'll tell her.
Can you do it without her?
Oh, yeah, because Deb Lewis and Sharon, and Judy are coming.
Okay.
Yeah, there was a time where they had, you started at 6 o'clock, you used all 3 courts and went to 10 o'clock.
Yeah, it was
So
late.
there was that many teams that played,
I wanna say that it was,
so you played every hour, you switched.
it must have been right before COVID, cause I'm assuming it shut down during COVID. It was sometime then, but there were like 7 teams,
Yeah.
5 or 7, it was a lot.
My knees couldn't take that concrete floor. And just being on the concrete floor, just trying to jump and turn, and that just took a toll on me.
I mean, it took a toll on me just dancing on Saturday. My feet hurt so bad by the time I got home. And I wore like flat shoes.
Oh,
Like,
I had-
We pulled in and I said to Andy, I'm only taking the stuff out of the car that has to come out.
right, the rest
The
will wait
rest
till
of it stay
morning.
until tomorrow.
Fire company had a dance here one time, I was involved with the fire company, and there was a country band playing there, and these people were asking about putting cornmeal on the floor. I said, what the hell do you want to put cornmeal on the floor? They wanted to do this, like, some kind of dancing that, I guess so you could slide better with your feet. They wanted this corn, I was like, no, because then I have to clean it up.
Yeah. As we were picking up confetti with our birds. I guess.
So how many people did you have?
I think it was about 75.
Yeah. A lot of people just, they bought tickets, but they didn't come.
Well, Andy asked me about coming up. He says, if you get done with your yard, but I was just so tired. I took 22 bushes and trees out of my yard on Saturday that I pulled out and got rid of.
I gave
And it
Andy,
still doesn't look like it did anything in my yard.
Andy and I bought 10 tickets and gave them to the fire department and nobody came.
Really?
I don't know if Kurt just forgot about having them and I didn't,
Huh.
write to him and say, hey, don't forget.
Well,
you have
I haven't seen Erin in about a week, because she goes to the gym in the morning when I go, and I haven't seen her for
I
about a
don't
whole
know if
week
he
now.
just forgot about him or what happened,
Maybe they're on
but
vacation
none of
or
those
something.
tickets. But we gave 10 for him to give out, like, to 5 couples or whoever. But none of those tickets were turned in, so nobody came.
Hmm.
I thought the young couple that sat by themselves, they live at Freedom Hills because Andy took their tickets to them.
Oh.
But they're just really quiet.
They
Just
were,
sat-
Brunel had his ear for like,
Was it a young couple or older couple?
Yeah,
Or
young
younger?
I'm pretty sure she graduated a year after me.
Really? And then the 2 girls from Glenrock.
They were cracking me up
Oh,
though.
me too. Did you know they walked to rudders in their heels?
Well, the one girl brought flies.
And Andy said, can I drive you there? I was like, yeah, because that's not weird. A creepy old man, one of the 2 girls going, can I drive you to rudders?
So when I was dancing with Ray, I was like, Ray, those girls said they'll
Oh, it's
dance
up to
with you. He's
6
like,
months,
you're a
yeah.
little young. And I was like, oh, is that where we draw the line? And he's like, well, there's no line.
He would have been great. I used to go to a singles dance before I met Andy.
You would have loved that.
And he
He's
would
so
have loved
lovely.
it.
It makes me
Did
sad.
he tell you about how the best way to dance with a girl is? You have to be close enough to smell her freshly shampooed hair.
That's
Who's
freaky.
this?
And this Ray, this guy from the VFW.
He's like in his 80s.
And the drop of perfume behind her ear, and then you have to hold her close enough to feel every side of her breath.
It's a lot. He didn't tell me any of that when I was dancing with
And
him,
then
thankfully.
I'm dancing with him, I'm thinking like, I want to
Here. No, what they used to say in high school, they used to like, when we were dancing, come by and they're like, I need to be able to fit something in there. It was
But he would have loved
They
it.
wouldn't let you dance close in high school?
not that close.
No. Really?
Like, hell, now you
I
can go to
remember-
more bra, no one
I
cares,
guess
but.
back in the 70s it was a little different, because it didn't matter.
Yeah, Sierra said the other day, do you realize, Grammy, it's been 10 years since I graduated. I feel old. I'm like, Sierra, next year it will be 50 years since I graduated.
It's been 17 since I graduated.
Yeah, I got my 45th this fall. coming up. They said they wanna do it out here at the country club. We've been having it out at the birthday club for the past couple of times, and I think everybody was getting a little tired of going to the birthday club.
Yeah.
So we decided to get back, and that's where we first started having ours, was at the country club.
We had one there, it was good,
Yeah.
and that was before they had the girl that could cook. So it'd probably be even better now.
I told Jimmy I can't wait till Friday when I'll be, for 15 days, the time difference will be different, that I won't know what's happening in the borough. We leave for Ireland on Friday.
I'll keep
If
notes.
there's something bad happen, but I won't know about it.
I have to drop the box off at the VFW tomorrow, with any luck, which Harvey will be there.
Oh, good for you.
Yep.
I just like that camera's pointed that way, like you can hear my voice, but you don't know who I am.
We actually did our senior graduation party at the country club.
Really?
Yeah.
It was there.
We had a bunch, well,
It was there then?
the one kid that was in my class, his dad was president of the country club, so that's how we got to do it.
Oh, yeah, that was good.
I remember guys, they buried beer out in a couple of the sand traps and stuff, and they got caught.
So when I asked Erica if she lived here when Marge Goodfellow ran the program, she goes, I don't know. Well, like, I think you'd know.
How long have you lived here?
Marge passed away long before she moved here in the area, I'm sure.
Nah, Marge just passed away. How long ago?
Longer than you think.
Yeah,
It's been a while.
She was alive when I started working here.
How long have you
Yeah,
worked
we
here?
started in 2012.
Started in 2011.
Let's
Well,
see.
let's
I
see
bet I can
about
find her
12
obituary,
years
hold
ago.
please.
That was 12 years ago, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where did they live?
The Goodfellas,
Mhm.
right across from the community center up there in that big green house,
Yeah.
across the
I
burn.
don't know if it's green anymore, but
Yeah, oh, yeah.
it's,
Like
it's
the
still
same.
green.
No way. This says she died in 2019.
Yeah.
Really?
Oh my
She gets right.
god. Did she die? Oh no, that was before COVID. Oh, she was at Pleasant Acres. That's
Yeah, but
sad.
I don't think she was,
Wow, I thought it was longer than that.
I don't
So
think she
did
was
I.
active. Like,
No, she
How
moved
old
out.
was she?
She moved out up here before.
she was in Pleasant Acres.
Well,
She was
that's
born in
true. That's
23.
probably what I'm thinking of.
And
Yeah,
she died in
she's-
I
19,
haven't
so
seen her
she
in
was
such a long time.
96. She was 96.
Yeah.
From Ohio.
I
She
remember, I
used
used
to-
to drive Melissa, and then I drove my nephews, and like, she would have bicycle clinics, like to check your bike.
She was a den mother for
Then she
Cupcake.
would have days where they would decorate it to ride in the New Freedom Parade. They
When
had
she
one.
served food and stuff, she had divider plates.
Yeah,
So everything, all your food was always, she never left anything touched.
touch.
Like, that's the way she served her kids too.
Yeah.
They had to eat that. And if anybody would come to the house, that's the kind of cake you got with them.
When did Roger retire?
He's been with us probably like early 2000s, like maybe 14, 13.
Kind of thing.
That makes sense.
Yeah,
That makes
but
sense.
he's been going for a while.
What time did they go back there? 9:30?
Yeah. Did you guys get your lunch from the Sesquicentennial Committee yet? I'm gonna remind Andrew, you're getting a lunch.
Well, I heard you say something about that.
It says it aired. Well, the last sale date, which could have been refinancing, was 2011.
Of the house?
But aired.
Does it say $1 or does it have a price?
She lives in Denise Wilderson's parents used to live there.
Well, it says the price.
Yeah, so that's when she bought it.
Oh, is that where, that's right, I guess they did live.
Yeah, they
I've
told
heard
us
about
that
that.
recently.
Words?
Denise Wilderson's
Yeah,
parents.
yeah, yeah.
She used
Yeah,
Was her last name Words?
no, Slater,
No.
I think.
I think so.
I mean, that's.
I think Denise said there was a person,
Yeah, I think her
Yeah.
last name's Slater.
Somebody in between them.
Yeah.
Something. Dagmar Words.
Why did you name your child that?
Sure tells me she's related to or something.
Denise is.
Denise?
Yeah.
Yeah, she
yes,
always
she
tells me
told
that.
us that when we were doing the prom stuff.
And Ray too, she says that she's related to Ray.
Yeah.
Are you related to Ray?
No.
I don't think he likes the, solar panel farm going in. He's laughing and shaking his head the whole time.
None of them do.
use and they've met all the planning.
You don't have to like it.
Yeah, there's nothing you can do about it if it is what it is.
With these two that ran for office, they think you can do whatever you want.
I'd rather have seen solar panels on the whole new side over there where I live instead of that development.
There was a lady who came to the election and she said to Ryan, he went to hand her something and she goes, well, I just have one question for you. Are you for having more businesses come into town? And he
For
said-
small business.
Yeah, and she goes, he goes, yeah, I'm all for small businesses. And she goes, but I'm not voting for it. And then it was so funny because I borrowed the yearbook from Sandy Eckenrode gave him the yearbook from 50 years ago when they had the celebration. And like in the back, you could buy a space, like in the yearbook, to advertise. You should go through and look at all the businesses that were here. There was a toy store,
Well,
there
it
was
was
a
a
drug
co-op.
store,
It was a
there was
co-op.
a doctor's office.
And let me tell you,
Didn't have to.
Bob
leave town.
Hitty and Bill Russell were some of the most generous people on the face of this earth. Like, my family didn't have a pot to piss in. And they, every Christmas, we had Christmas gifts on our porch, magically appeared. Bob Hitty paid our electric bill for an entire year after my dad had a surgery. Like, it ain't like that in today's world. That generational shit's gone.
I'm just saying, there was a lot more businesses here
Oh,
50
yeah.
years ago than there is now.
Yeah. She's dumb.
Now we got breweries.
Oh, we had pizzas before.
And video.
There's
Remember
no-
when we
Yeah.
knew?
Oh, yeah, there's video places too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was
Bunny's
more video
TV,
places.
we had video time.
I still like the one that was down there in the old drugstore when they told me that, I guess her and the kids went down there and Chad went through this curtain.
Oh, yeah.
No.
Till she found out where he was and she quick got him out of there and. I mean,
Where do they
he
live?
said the
Where
kid-
does Ashley and Chad live?
Chad lives in Colorado, in Grand Junction.
Okay.
And Ashley lives, over on Mount Zion Road.
Oh, she's close.
Yeah, and
They're still here.
We have a choice.
I have a car key, so
We're solving the world's problems in case you're wondering.
Turn the air conditioning off?
somebody said you went back there to eat the pound cake.
We took that cave back there.
Read candy.
Speaking of the cake,
We need to be
Sabo
drinking
spelled
water.
cake incorrectly.
Yeah.
They just missed it.
We spent some of your money on pizza and paisanos that you had left.
Good.
Okay, we're up to you, Mr. Mayor. That's fine. I'm gonna try to keep it short. I will ask you to look at your, police report.
Wait, I'm
Oh,
sorry.
That's all right.
We went back and we discussed the contractual issue, how to move employees.
I'd ask you to take a look at, I'm very impressed with our 4-week enforcement totals on this. I have been, written warnings, traffic citations. I had kind of asked Chief if we couldn't do a little bit more to implement some things. I mean, you're seeing some great numbers here, that they're doing pullovers, written warnings, repair orders, citations. We're seeing some great numbers. We're under, for the year. You can see their target was 3144, we ended up 3110, so that puts us in the, in the negative of 30, well, the plus side, 33, almost 34. When it comes to hours, and that's what, part of what's gonna depend on what our rate is next year, because we are, as hopefully you're aware, we're doing a 3-year average, and that'll still continue. Sorry, my notes are on here, I didn't write that. I should have asked that. We do have a new officer. He is, passed all his exams, all his tests. He's doing ride-alongs right now and, you know, learning the ropes, which is great because that increased our overtime. Again, the meeting, continuation meeting is June 19th.
6 p.m.
At 6 p.m. Now you have your negotiating committee, which is not open to the public, and you'll keep everybody informed as to wherever you can. The 83 shooting, is everybody aware of that Route 83 shooting? They did catch the guy. He shot the woman, tried to confiscate her car, and then ran off. She wouldn't open the door, so he just shot her. I haven't heard lately. I heard she was okay, and then I
Not sure.
heard, not the
His
rest.
gun jammed and PSEP took him into custody.
That was after he crossed back over. He went in the woods, he wore out 4 dogs, they had helicopters. Then I think it was the next day.
No, it
Same-
wasn't that day.
Same day, it's just
Was
a
it
couple
that
hours
day?
later.
He crossed back over 83, and then somebody saw him, reported it, and they were able to catch
Wow.
him.
So we don't know if the lady's okay?
I don't know. I heard she was doing okay, and then I heard she kind of took a turn, but that doesn't, you know.
He was from Baltimore, and the woman he was with are both in custody.
Yeah, there was a woman there.
The 9-year-old.
We did have somebody again stop, ask a question, and we told him, I guess, to come here. Complaints about the stop and chill. Apparently, Chief said that they have been on top of them. I think, did they cite them?
Is this the new owner?
Yes.
That's disappointing.
New owner, old owner, we'll see. He said the other guy had to sell it because he wasn't making any money.
After he was
Huh?
busted.
What are they doing to get in trouble?
They're
Selling minors.
Selling the
Oh,
minors.
oh.
They're selling.
Tobacco, you know, that kind of
Is it
stuff.
everything? They're selling all kinds of different stuff to minors? I heard it was only
They
the,
sent in
the
a
big
task
stuff.
force, they had state police task force, you know, they have people that look like they're 16, you know, or look like they're 18 and they're only 16, they go in, try to buy something, they sell it, boom. And I don't think you've had any problems anymore with the lights, we did have another complaint.
We did, yeah, it was on,
That's
it's on the
handled.
code, they're there, but they've been off, so.
And I noticed they mowed the grass out front, but right at the back of the building, it's
Yeah,
this tall.
it's,
Or
I
is it-
think,
They get a ladder?
it's- well,
They get a
they're
ladder?
actually, I think they're really
Well, let's get through the police report first.
You're talking about the 9-year-old boy and the flags of honor, Kim?
No, go ahead.
9-year-old boy on Franklin Square, that abduction was unfounded, it was a
Oh,
non-issue.
yeah.
Also, the flag, vandalism and New Freedom, the flags of honor were knocked over there. The hodl flowers were pulled out at the train station, had some vandalism too, possibly 2 younger girls that should be taken care of this past week, I believe.
I mean, should be taken care of, they didn't really are.
Chief said that there should be a resolution last week to it.
So what happened at the train station? I know they broke the windows in the cars of the train.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, he didn't report that, he just said there was
Like vandalism, probably riding, I think it'd be like riding or something on the.
Kids are out for the
They
summer.
broke 2 of the windows, and
Oh.
one of the engine.
Another thing was, some idiot from Maryland was setting off fireworks at Marge Goodfellow Park.
Really?
Luckily, Officer Hanson, as I was going down through the yard, Officer Hanson came down Playground Alley with his lights off, came around, turned the lights and siren on, and caught the guy and cited him. He was from Maryland. He got him on a couple different things because he ran away from him, tried to hide. you know, but I don't know what they do with, these were huge shells. I mean, they were the big, big ones, and I said to him, I was walking down to clean up, and he said he had been over and he picked them up. He said he'll have to take them to bomb squad to have them destroyed. And we'll see, I think, police will have a party down in Fenwick. But, yeah, well, no, that was somebody different. That was somebody
Contribution to
different.
the Lions Club this year.
What's that?
Could be their contribution to the Lions Club
The
this year.
Lions Club, yeah, if you're gonna do it, wait until the regular fireworks. I don't really have anything else when it comes to, police unless you do, Erica.
No.
Okay, your EMS and fire funding. Fire, doing good, you're doing great, they're busy, unfortunately. Fires, accidents, skids, like I said, are out. We're having a problem with EMS. I thought they were gonna be here tonight, but I looked and we had a bunch of stuff this evening. They're very concerned. They have one ambulance, it needs work. The other ambulance is not even operational. They're looking to put a new cab on and try to use the old chassis. That is still gonna cost them $180,000.
Why do they need a new cab? What's wrong with
The old one's, it's just shot.
How is it shot? I'm just trying to understand, because it's not a mechanical piece of equipment.
What a lot of the stuff inside is, like, you've got oxygen running in there, and it's not just from tanks. It's just, you know, it's rusted through the body. I mean, that thing's probably 25 years old.
That I understand, I got it.
So, you know, they're gonna replace that, but their big problem is, they're really running low on money. EMS is. Again, I talked to Kristen Phillips Hill and up at the, she was at the PSAB conference, and we talked about EMS again. We did try to pass, I will give this to you guys next time. It's all the resolutions. I'm a delegate, a voting delegate, and it's all the resolutions that we voted for. One of them, several of them had to do with fire departments, had to do with direct payment from any insurance company directly to the fire company and against the law to pay the individual personally. Okay, and they are also going to try to speak to their federal counterparts about changing Medicaid, Medicare charges. They pay, it's $86, I think, for Medicaid and $160 that they get from Medicare patients. That doesn't even charge for 3 people to go pick somebody up, take them to the hospital and come back. They're, you know, they lose money. Plus, they aren't reimbursed for the drugs they use by anybody, by Medicare or Medicaid. They got a paramedic on there and they hook them up to an IV, they give them medication. They can't charge, they're not allowed to charge for that.
Is that a Pennsylvania thing, or is that a national?
It's federal. Federal when it comes, Medicare and Medicaid's federal. So I thought they were. It is, it's crazy. I really, and I hate to say it, but I have said it for the last 3 years, I really think we need to consider some kind of EMS tax this year. I know we're not in budget right now, but no matter what it is, it's gonna help. Because they were doing really good for a long, long time, but every month it's boom, boom, truckers are slowly wearing out. And everybody seems to think, oh, I donate to the fire company. Well, you donate to the fire company, but that's fire company. It's not EMS. They're not the same. Our fire, tax does not go to EMS. It goes to the fire company. So I would ask you all to think about it before we end up paying, what, $1.2 million a year so that we can have EMS coverage, because we're gonna have to assume everything at some point if things don't change.
Kim, their donations that they do, the letters they send out to the residents, does that get split 50/50?
No, EMS has their own and the fire company has their own.
Okay.
I think fire company, their contributions dropped a bit because they changed the standard. It used to be, whatever your insurance doesn't pay, you're covered 100%. Then it was whatever it doesn't pay, 50%. Now, it's down to 30%, okay, for fire. EMS, that's just kind of a contribution, it doesn't really get you much.
Have they raised that cost of the membership
No.
in like 30 years?
Well, I don't know about 30 years.
I'm not kidding.
I just paid it.
I found some old records of my parents, and I think it's the same price it was 30 years ago.
For Denise and I think it was $60 or $65, and I always give them $100.
Right.
Shouldn't their calls also be going down with the nursing home being closed?
Yes, they are, but the problem is, we've got Glen Rock, oh, that's another thing. We are borrowing Glen Rock's ambulance when ours, other ambulance goes down, because we got nothing. When ours is out, needs a brake job, we're borrowing Glen Rock's ambulance. And God bless them for giving it to us, letting us use it. But that's not gonna last forever either, because John and Ed are both talking about they're gonna retire this year. We haven't had, unfortunately, an EMS meeting for what, 6 months? And that's when we were trying to get this roundtable going for all our communities to do kind of an IGA, but medical. And as a matter of fact, at the convention, I talked to, who was that, DCNR? Yeah, DCNR. DCED. Talked to them and said, look, we're really frustrated. Told them what the problem was. Every time we turn around, we get another different person that's on the peer study, and we gotta start all over again, and now nobody will even call us back. So, we gotta do something, we gotta look ahead on that.
They talked at all that Seven Valleys Tri-Community was assumed by WellSpan?
Yeah, I just heard that. And Tri-Community merged with somebody else first, right?
No,
They just went
basically
under?
closed
Oh, I
it,
thought they
and
went
WellSpan
with
assumed.
somebody else or took them over. Yeah, so WellSpan has done that, and WellSpan, unfortunately, we're getting some great EMTs, and we just had 2 of them leave and go with WellSpan. And it's tough to get replacements, and if we don't, we have to have X amount on an ambulance to run. And we were very fortunate that we were able to pick one person up. We still need another one, and the only person we have, the way we have some of them was because of the campaign that went on this year, where if you go get your EMS or EMT license, we'll pay for it, but you have to be with us for 2 years. You stayed with us for 2 years. Well, that's the reason that we've got a couple of people that we do, and they're running 12-hour shifts, 24/7. Again, but
I just sent Todd an email with a new phone
Good.
thing where you could have it sent at 8 o'clock the next morning, and asked him about his
oh, is that an
status.
iPhone?
Yeah.
You'll show me how to do that later, because I'm up at 1 o'clock and I think, I gotta send Andy a, turn that
It's a
sucker on.
greatest feature, because then you don't forget, but you don't
We gotta, we'll have to go over that for Andy's sake, because I don't remember the next morning. I'm done, unless somebody else has
I
questions.
just had a quick question on that WellSpan thing.
Yeah,
Who was that WellSpan took over?
Tri-community.
try community.
So is that a path for anybody?
Could the worst, it's over, Bill.
No, but I mean, is that a path for the local guys here?
It was because they were gonna be a part of that municipal gathering of EMS groups that are trying to go together.
I can't understand how they're so low paid when they're in such high demand. It's counterintuitive.
Well, that's the problem. WellSpan's not.
Well,
paying
That's it.
Yeah.
When some of our guys, yeah, they have great, their benefits are good, health, retirement, that kind of stuff, but you can go down and work the
Work
night
at Rudders,
shift
yeah.
at Rudders for $19, $20 an hour. And I think they're getting paid like 17. But they can't afford to really raise it.
Mayor, can you check on one, I made a complaint to the police, I made a complaint to the state, I went to the county, and they said we'd pass it on to the police department about a dog incident that I made. And I just asked, just as a courtesy to follow up to see, you know, because I got attacked, I was walking our dog and I got attacked by this Rottweiler on the corner of West Franklin and North 3rd Street.
You reported that down here, didn't you?
Well, I made the report to the state, they
How
passed
long
it to the
ago?
county, a month.
I saw it on it's on the report.
Oh, yeah, so I just wanna know if you talked to him and what's gonna happen. Are you gonna be safe walking by there again, or?
I will, or you're more than welcome to call chief. You certainly can call chief. It's an incident that you were involved in, then why go through a third party when you can, you know? It's not like you're asking for somebody else.
All right,
Did he come out the street after?
he crossed the street.
This isn't police or fire. You got my picture
Good.
of Front Street, right? Did you get it?
Yeah, that was posted last Friday.
Having a melee down here too. Back in.
Was it last Friday?
Well,
'Cause
I'm
there was-
sorry, it might not.
Oh, well, whatever.
Some of the guys-
Yeah, from last Friday.
Yeah.
Can you make a call?
Yeah. Yeah, we did before and it's.
I know. It's one of those things trash cans are out not in the middle, but they're in the,
Not facing back up on the curb.
I know, but the dumpster, whatever result.
Yeah.
so people are driving home and they gotta stop in the middle of Front Street, get out of their car, rain, no matter what, get out of their car, pick up their can, put it up on the curb so they can parallel park. And not only they have to do theirs, they gotta do the guy in front and the guy in back. Now, it's usually been, the complaint I got was it was just trash. It was not recycle. Recycle, are they using the automatic pickup?
Somebody said they were.
Yeah, somebody said
They
that.
have auto.
Yeah, well, you have family that lives down there. You probably get the complaints too. But I'd really like to try to keep that under control if we can. Can we fine them for that or no? We can fine them for not picking up, just
Yeah, I don't think it says anything about car this week.
And I try to explain to people that, you know, that we're not into the automatic pickup quite yet. That probably won't happen once that, but I don't know if Front Street's ever gonna be.
Yeah, it's gonna be a tough.
They're not gonna be able to do automatic pickup down there.
They're always gonna have some, unless they move to the other side of the street.
Well, that would be an option too. Okay, I'm done.
All right, engineering report? Any questions?
I noticed R&M had fees in the treasurer's report, but I don't see anything on these reports. Are they moving forward? Did something happen?
They submitted, it's on the subdivision land development report. under warehouse report. Anticipated work next month 2, and then 2 municipal engineers review, C, New Haven, finalized review.
Oh, now it's been changed to New Haven? That's the name now?
That's the official name of the subdivision.
Oh, that's the name of the subdivision, but not the contractor. I get it.
Where is that one located?
It's the,
2C.
it's right behind the solar panels.
Oh,
RN.
oh, yeah, okay.
But that is all, what is, have you seen the sketch or not?
We have a sketch in the engineers, well, we have a plan submittal, the engineers reviewing it, that's on their report.
But that's all within code and it doesn't go outside, there's no exception.
Yeah, I believe the plan, the way it was submitted, does not need any special exception or variance. There might be some waivers that need to be granted, but I don't know that for sure at this point.
On the Arrow report, it says Jimmy Dennis provided assistance specific to water allocation permit renewal for the borough's bulk water purchase from York Water Company.
That's
30,000 we have to buy. Yeah.
right, but that allocation
What's-
permit is issued from DEP, correct?
Or
Yes.
permit renewal.
Yeah, that has to be renewed like every 5 years. You have to reapply for it and rewrite it.
That's separate from this locked-in contract we're in.
Oh, yeah, yeah, that's totally different. This is all DEP.
It's DEP.
Yeah.
Any other engineering questions? Public Works?
We order the new, whatever it was you guys wanted last month, did you order that?
Yes.
Okay. How long is that gonna be?
11 weeks.
How long?
11 weeks.
11.
Nothing works quickly anymore, does it?
No, well, they used to have stuff in stock, and now everyone's just building it as needed almost, because of parts.
Yep.
Wastewater treatment plant? No valuations, close this. Zoning?
I did have one quick question about the improvement cost under May. It's just such a high number compared to other ones. What drove that up?
Most likely one specific permit
Basement?
and
The basement?
yeah, if you look, it would be the second one from the bottom there. On the second page.
Oh, okay. I missed-
61.
Yeah. I
Usually, if that would happen, it's gonna be an outlier.
Yeah,
one
that's what I assumed. When I looked at it, I read that as 6,000, not 61.
We're still on zoning question.
Question?
Yeah, I'm trying to think how I wanna present this. If somebody needs a permit, where do they need and not need an architect to do a drawing?
If it's a commercial space, PA law mandates that it needs to be an architect or engineer stamp control.
Now, what if it's a small business? We went through this with.
If it's a public space, if it's a commercial, anything other than a single-family dwelling, and I think
Yeah.
attached is okay, as
Okay.
long as it, but once you get to 3, it becomes commercial.
And there's nothing that we can do through an ordinance or resolution?
You can't,
Us.
you can't supersede.
I guess my point is, we wanna bring business in, we wanna bring other things in, we wanna make it easy for people to make the improvements that are needed, but they have to have that, and all of a sudden the architect adds $6, $8, $10,000 onto a bill that these people thought wasn't even gonna cost that much to do in the first place.
Yeah, I guess think of the,
Okay.
think of the state law as kind of the baseline. You can make it more restrictive, but you can't make it less restrictive.
Does it matter whether it is a for-profit or nonprofit?
There is I don't think it does, but there is a sentence or two in the UCC that, and don't quote me on the wording, but basically says that there can be, you can exempt that if the project is pretty small and it doesn't really impact anything. And I'd have to find that exact wording. I know we pulled it out before on other projects.
Just if you can,
Sure.
whenever you get time, let me know. I have a couple items I want to talk to you about.
Codes enforcement.
Number one, it's been well over a year, and I don't believe weather continues to impact driveway construction.
I spoke with him. Because at the end of May, and, over the winter, yeah, it was the wet conditions, which obviously we don't have now. But he was having an issue getting the logger in to clear area. He told me that he had 2 different people lined up and both of them backed out. So that's where he's at.
Well, if he was doing asphalt, you can get asphalt in the winter.
Yeah, he was trying to actually get trees cleared to be able to put a driveway in, to put a building in, to move these.
Oh, I see. So he's gonna put it on the back.
This is another property in Maryland.
Oh.
How did we make out with number 2? I think I had chatted with you about that some time ago. Geez, that was back, way
February,
back,
Yeah.
yeah.
compliance.
Is that the person that, how do I do this without giving away?
That move?
Yeah,
Yes.
so that is his wife?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
So it's from February, it's June, what status is it in?
Well, they have cleaned it up a little bit. Have you
There's
been
no
up by?
Picture.
Well, I mean, the status is that we filed a criminal complaint. My assumption is that they're having difficulty serving that property or serving that individual and locating them, and they moved.
They did, they're in Florida.
Right.
She's in the military and she got
And
moved
that
to,
could cause issues serving. And then if they're active duty,
but I understand they're
There's a whole different set of
renting it out, so
From February, they haven't been served?
he got it right after the week after they moved to Florida. Whoever's renting it called him and said, "You've got this." Well, there was no way he could make court.
well, there was no hearing.
So what's
Well,
being
no,
done?
I told him, just don't come back to Pennsylvania.
What's being done?
Oh, well, that's why I said, am I correct in assuming it
We're waiting
has?
for a response from the magistrate.
But I think it
Since
has been
February?
semi-cleaned up, 3/4. Have you been up by?
Yeah, it seemed like afterwards some got cleaned up.
Yeah, it was,
But not all.
he was gonna ask one of the guys that works for another person up there on Independence, Independence? No, Washington, to help him out. I don't know how much he helped out. It looks a lot better than it does in this picture.
But he still owns it, right? And he just rents it.
He's renting it now, because they had the house and she got transferred to Florida, so they were hoping.
So it's on the renter now?
I don't know, is it?
Sanitation of premises on the tenant.
We've been there once before,
That's on that.
yeah.
And it was turned over to the tenant wasn't turned over, clean.
Oh, no, it was,
So-
This is the,
Isn't it the landlord's responsibility unless it was turned over clean?
that's
yeah,
our
but how are you gonna get the
requirement.
landlord when they're?
I don't know. I'm
He's
just
trying to
figure
stay
out
up
his
to date, which is
responsibility.
going back to February, actually January.
It does not look nearly this bad. That's the original picture, Andy? Yeah, I've been up by checking it out, and there's a little bit of stuff beside the garage that I saw, and that was about it.
Oh, really? So it's
Yeah,
all-
yeah, that's, if you're looking at 2 and 3, front's cleaned up, a little bit of junk along the side of the garage.
I will call the DJ's office and see if they're able to give us an update on both of those.
Or maybe somebody can drive up by and see what you think.
Well, yeah, I mean, really, we need to know the status of
Right.
those complaints, and if they've been served, and
Yeah.
What about the cockroach infestation? What stage is that in?
there is no stage.
It's, all the homes are,
We have
Fine.
not received any complaints. There was no outstanding violation on the property, so it's closed. There's not on the report.
I got a message that they're
isn't that
dropping dead left and right.
what number 4
If
is?
they're-
No,
What's,
And that's the
That's not the
cockroaches, not
home.
the people.
that's the home, but that's not the violation.
well, so the tree's still there?
The tree is there, which is why the citation was filed.
And that was March and it's June. What was the outcome of that?
That's why I just said I'm gonna check with the magistrate.
Oh, I thought that was
See
like
what-
the previous before, okay. But what is the roach infestation? They're gone? Nobody has an issue dealing with it
No one has
anymore?
complained.
No one's,
Yeah, I got a message from her, he asked me to keep you apprised, things are much better. Dead and dying roaches in the bathtub, and next to toilet and upstairs bathroom, near vanity and sink. No speed racers for a week or so, so. That's a hint.
She's maintaining a sense of humor.
So I think they're much, much happier. They cleaned the place out.
Was it Andy that said there was some sort of powder that you could put out, didn't you tell us?
I gave them the
Yeah.
phone
Yeah, you
number
did,
for now.
you did, I remember you told him that they had, it must have worked. Good for you.
Hopefully.
Are they still giving you receipts monthly, or is that over?
Yeah, up until, I believe it was late March, early April, when you had said that they contacted you and said they were sending them up to that point, and I stopped at that because it seemed like it was under control. That's when they had all the
Yeah.
junk moved out, so
Cool.
it seems to hopefully go away.
Yeah. Now, the back of that house, I don't know, I haven't been back there.
Okay.
7 or 5.
One on Medina Street.
Yeah, that's the back alley. Oh, I did get a question about that alley back That's got a sharp curve at the end of it, doesn't it? Like, they asked if we. Yeah.
Yeah, but it goes down to a business, doesn't it?
Yeah, down to Miller Brothers or
Yeah.
whatever. There's no way a garbage trash truck can go back there and around.
You never make that turn.
Okay, well, that's what I told them.
Yeah.
Because they're another place that's
Either.
having a problem with the garbage
Yeah.
cans, so.
If you go out past my place, speaking about having trouble, you go out past my place and you get back into the development right there in the back, cut in Calhoun Street, man, that thing turns this way. And when you make that turn, that is narrow right up through there. And
Yeah.
that's probably where you're talking about.
Yep.
Because that's a nasty. If one person parks out there along that one edge, you can't even get through there with the truck.
Anything else on code enforcement? Land development?
What's the update on Mason-Dixon for the outdoor pavilion? Is that,
It's down here.
oh, I don't know, but what's the, I've been asked about, it's kind of being, taking a lot of time, where is it at in the?
Their permit was denied the first time it was submitted. They resubmitted Friday, Thursday or Friday, they resubmitted drawings, so they have to go back out for review.
Back out for review of the drawing. And if those are okay, does it move forward or go back
Yeah,
again, or?
Oh, no, just building permit. The building permit plans were denied the first time.
Committees, we already talked about EMS and fire. Do we have any infrastructure issues that you feel aren't being addressed or that you need to get taken care of?
No, the only pending item would be to get the sewer user group back together, but we're waiting on the finalization, of Shrewsbury Township's GIS map to know where those sewer hookups and EDUs need to be out.
I was more concerned with bridges falling down,
No.
bridges on the brain tonight.
After that guy was.
Pickleball court, that'll be in the Marge Goodfellow Park. They,
That should really be just
Public-
moved into that community.
yeah. Public safety.
Could back up one, personnel.
Okay.
Are you okay with personnel now? Because you have lost a couple guys, haven't you?
Yeah, we did bring somebody on right at Memorial Day for Public Works, so
Are you still short one after that?
we'd still be short one to get back to what it was before, yeah.
Is it that hard to get people to work?
Yes.
It's hard to
It's hard to
find,
get people to work.
it's hard to find people that,
Yeah.
can handle the work as well. And are going to last.
Well, that's been a big problem for, what, a couple of years now.
Well, yeah, 3, like.
Okay, I'm sorry, I just wanted.
No, you're fine, you're fine. Public safety, there's been some issues with people in, help me out, what's the housing development?
Are you talking to me?
Yeah,
The Summit at New Freedom?
no, the one that sits back behind Burkentine.
Franklin.
New Freedom
Springwood?
Apartments?
Yeah, New Freedom Apartments, and we've got some complaints of the people in Burkentine Apartments are complaining that they're bending fences, and they're coming through the fences and digging underneath the fences.
Throwing rocks at cars.
Throwing rocks at cars. I mean, it's getting to be, and it's not gonna get, I mean, as the weather warms up, it'll probably get worse. Maybe you could talk to Chief about that.
Yeah.
And,
Well, see, that's all private property. That's
Yeah,
why
I was,
asked
and that
about
was,
Burkentine.
that's actually.
They're not allowed on Burkentine's property unless Burkentine calls them to respond.
See, I was gonna ask about that. I thought that might be the case. So really, we have no, see, we had another complaint that was a speeding problem in the Burkentine development. And
Yep.
so I ended up, finally, I called Burkentine and I told them they had a problem. So
That's
they
what
were
you
gonna-
have to do.
And that's what you have to do. So really, I need to tell the residents, they have to call Burkentine.
Do they have like an on-site rep because of the number of units that they have?
That's in the second building, that's being across from
Okay.
Vortex. In the one unit, there's going to be their
Superintendent?
office.
That would be
Yeah.
a real disadvantage to running there. Not having any police, you know.
New Freedom Apartments are those ones past
Yeah.
Burkentine up at the end
At
of
the
the
end of
road
Juanita and actually.
I mean, if it's a major crime, they can, but just for people speeding,
No, this is, I'm more concerned about the rocks and the damage.
oh, something like that, but,
property
well,
damage.
that's vandalism, I mean,
Yes.
and they can call Burkentine could call the police if,
Well, why don't you
I'll
mention
double
it,
check with-
mention it to chief and see
I'll
what-
double check with chief, because I know we had a problem. There were handicap spaces and no parking spaces where people would drop grandma off, you know, and they couldn't because there were cars lined up in the no parking, and they said they can't do anything about it, call Burkentine.
Bernal, you said you were gonna do a sesquicentennial report for next meeting.
Yeah, I'm gonna make a little, I'll get together with you, Jenny, and we'll try to, maybe we can put together at least one good one anyway, right?
Okay. We have a thing from York County Borough Association, it's a picnic, in the park. It's, June 22nd, and, you can pass this around, right? Does everyone have a copy?
I'm set up before.
Yeah. Okay. And then, yeah, so,
Okay.
just so you know.
Anybody, if you want to become more associated with PSAB, Josh Ehrman is one of the top guys at PSAB. Great guy, he was at the convention. Give yourself an opportunity to meet some of those people, because it's very beneficial. You know, we've got a lot of good resources there, even though some people think they're wrong sometimes. Well, we're all wrong sometimes, but, they, go if you can. Maybe we can call it.
Public comment? I would entertain a motion.
You got it.
All in favor? You are adjourned.
Back up to normal.
And then I'll call you for some of these things.
Yep.
And then you want